us together. Color my world with hope.
A high school summer dance. He came in wearing white jeans and a turquoise shirt with his sleeves all rolled up, looking very handsome. I kind of chased him around the dance floor because back then girls didn't ask boys to dance. Would always plant myself near him where he was standing and hope that he was going to ask me to dance.
Asked her to dance, finally, one fast dance. I was with a group of friends, then we kind of wandered off, but I kind of kept track of where she was.
So he asked me to dance early on in the dance, and then he walked away at the end, and I thought, that's it.
There wasn't really dancing with anybody else, so she seemed like she was available still.
This is the last dance, the last opportunity. I'm never going to meet this guy again. And then for the very last dance of the night, I made sure I was near him, and he asked me to dance the last dance, slow dance.
And then the last dance of the night was a slow dance. So I made sure I was in position to ask her for that dance. I asked her for her name.
And then he wanted to know my last name, and I told him Bacasino.
And I heard her last name and I says, whoa. How about if we just get your phone number? Because I'm never going to remember this last name.
And he'll tell you that he never met an Italian until he met me.
He didn't really know Italian names at all.
So he had absolutely no idea how to spell Bacasino. So he started to spell it and he said, on second thought, just give me your phone number.
You know, I had to let a few dances go by to see if there was competition in them. I was looking to see if there was anything else going on in the room, and there really wasn't. A lot of editing. I think we went to a movie. She dies, love story, that's it.
To see Romeo and Juliet.
I had graduated from high school, so I had a car available. I did meet her parents on our first date. She had a beautiful mother, so that was a big clue to me. There might be a future here. Look at her mother.
Maybe our fourth date. I don't know what it was, but it was the first time he kissed me.
Well, it took a while because her whole mouth was full of braces.
4 dates to finally just kiss me. I had a mouthful of braces. And he told me afterwards that he was afraid to kiss me because he was afraid that his lips would get all cut.
I was afraid. It was a little scary.
Because I had just braces forever.
She was wondering why.
So that was a nice date. Never proposed. I missed out on a lot, I'm telling you. I got married way too young and we didn't know what we were doing.
Our proposal was more of a mutual agreement.
We went away for the weekend to Philadelphia. His sister was going to college there. On the way home, we said, you know what? It would really be fun to live together.
Living together was out of the question.
It was frowned upon back then. We couldn't just live together.
I said, you know what? Let's get married.
Okay, maybe we should get married. So we went home and we told my parents we were getting married.
We had the famous Scotch and sirloin dinner where everybody cried.
I remember my parents had a mouthful of food and they put their forks down and they looked at us like, are you crazy? Because I was 18 at the time. They were not happy.
I ate everybody's leftovers.
And Chuck just kept eating everybody's dinner. It hasn't changed.
It was pretty classic.
Father looked at him and said, if you marry her now, you're taking over all of her college bills and everything else.
I said, okay, like an idiot. Not knowing what that meant.
Not that they were objecting to him, but they were just concerned because we were so young.
And
my maid of honor, her name was Beth, and she was about this big. She was real short. And she drove me to the church. I don't know why. It wasn't my father or one of the groomsmen, but we didn't know what we were doing. It was the first wedding and we were so young and my mother was still trying to work it all out in her head. I remember Beth being in the front seat of this big Cadillac she could barely see above the dashboard, and she's driving me. Bridesmaids' dresses were hooded, and she's driving this big Cadillac, and here I am, the bride in the back seat. It had to look comical. Everybody left us at my house, and then we're looking at each other like, how do we get to church?
I think my favorite memory was just that we partied so hard At the reception, danced like crazy, then went back to her parents' house and partied more.
By the time we got to the hotel, it was 3 in the morning. The wedding night was uneventful.
We'll always love you.
40 up until now has been my favorite anniversary. 50, I think, could outdo 40.
Well, I would like to say the same, but that would be a little redundant, wouldn't it? That was pretty special.
I guess the biggest thing is my first grandchild was born that year. My second grandchild was announced at our anniversary dinner. So those were huge things, of course. We'd waited a while for grandchildren. All of my family was here because of the PGA. We had a wonderful dinner we were surprised about when the limo pulled up and took us all away to dinner. Getting grandchildren is right up there with having children. The most surprising thing is her ability to manage so many different things at once. Between what she's cooking and calling and arranging and doing schoolwork and blueprints and everything else, she does it all in stride.
His knowledge base. He doesn't enjoy my anatomy subject at all. Anything that might have happened in the lab, he's, don't talk to me about it. And yet, if we're having a conversation, he will come up with all the answers about anatomy or other scientific things where I'm always shocked because he knows so much. I'm always surprised at how much he knows. He's got a lot of information up here, and I don't know where he gets it from, but he's a smart man.
Couple of Hawaii, no question.
To Venezuela, believe it or not, before we had any kids. And it was a beautiful country. Weather was gorgeous, and the ocean. We love, warm, sunny beaches. Oh, but it was our Hawaii vacation.
It was a strange one where she originally didn't want to go, and then decided at the last minute she wanted to go.
He won the trip through the bows.
It was based on stuff that I was selling, and I hadn't paid attention to what I was selling, this particular product, because she said she didn't want to go. Then all of a sudden I had to call in every favor I had from every dealer I had to buy this product so I could go.
Oh, family. We love Florida, especially when everybody's together.
There were 2 phenomenal family vacations that we took. Maine and Kennebunkport, Maine. Close second was Charleston, South Carolina. So those were family vacations we did with the Felbows. In my mind, she's the best mom and Grammy. She loves her grandchildren like she loves her sons. And I don't know any other mother who has 3 sons that talks to their mother as much as my 3 sons do. May not always want to, but she has them well trained.
Hates to deny his children or his grandchildren anything. May not be his best quality because he's not great with the discipline. He left that to me.
She's continued the legacy that her mother started, where the entire family is close together. And I'm sure this will continue on with her grandchildren. They speak to each other all the time. They're so close to each other. The sense of family is unlike anything I experienced growing up. I give the credit to her. That all came from her, starting with her parents. We will continue through our children and their children. I think I was most proud of that we're here after 50 years. It wasn't always, glamorous, glorious. There were ups and downs, there were problems, there were fights. There was, at one point, we thought we weren't going to still be together.
Every marriage goes through that, and so many marriages give up easily. We certainly went through our really rough time, and we just refused to give up.
We found the Lord. We both surrendered our life to Christ, and our marriage, again, wasn't perfect from that point, but it was always moving forward. I'd say it's at its best point in the 50 years that it's ever been. Would be right now. Biggest secret is to try to understand that you have to work at it to make it last. You can't just give up.
Not to give up. Many people, after they go through some hard times, just say, I've had enough, I want out.
And to put Jesus at the center of your life.
Have the Lord in your life. He's like the glue that holds it together.
Love. you.
She is the Martha of the Mary and Martha story. She's always thinking about other people. She's always trying to make sure everybody else is taken care of. Does that for all of our family and friends.
Patience and his unselfishness.
Cut.
Loving, giving person. And she's beautiful too. But for her age, she's tall. She's maintained weight very well, even though she eats like crazy sometimes. Active, a very attractive body, good skin, beautiful face. I mean, nobody could ask for more. Every time someone first meets the two of us, they always look at me and go, how did you get married to her? And that's gone on through my whole life. I've just accepted it. I'm like, just lucky, I guess.
I like his legs.
Leggy.
I like his legs.
You're gonna point to her. You can.
I can't go like that.
As long as you, yeah, that's fine.
Just don't touch her. It's easy.
Who's the first one to say sorry? Who's the last one to be ready when you're going out? Who is the most organized? Who is the first one to cancel plans? Who sleeps more? Who's the first one to change a roll of toilet paper?
Who has the better taste in clothes? Who has the better taste in music?
Who eats more dessert? Who shops more? Who's most athletic? Who is most physically loving? Affectionate. Who's most artistic? Who's the best dancer?
Oh.
Alright.
You guys, this is
Smooch.
amazing.
Huh?
Yeah, let's
That's
see.
gonna be hard.
Let's